So in this video, we're going to see Lewis Goodall from the news agents take down Donald Trump for the stupidity of these tariffs and for the catastrophic effects that it's having on the rest of the world. As usual, let's watch the video in full and I'll give you my thoughts towards the end.
We're going to put tariffs. We've already put them on. It's not a question of we will. We're going to put them on. And those tariffs next year will make us $1 trillion.
Who has benefited most from globalization? Who has benefited most from the extended supply chains, the driving down in costs in global markets for goods? It is precisely that billionaire American class. And yet they have basically made the mistake of believing that Trump was not serious about what he was planning to do on tariffs. They thought that what they were in for was a bit like Trump won. Loads of deregulation, loads of tax cuts, maybe some tariffs and protectionism on the side they can live with. What they have witnessed over the last 72 hours, as we were saying all last week, is a reshaping of the global economic order as we've known it, and the biggest supply shock, the biggest trade shock, arguably in history, even bigger than the 1930s, because in the 1930s, trade as a percentage of GDP, American economy, was way smaller than it is now. So we are watching the unraveling in real time of this political alliance between these billionaires and Trump, but also the unraveling of the economic order as we've known it.
Well, on the S&P 500, and we're recording this at 1 o'clock and it hasn't opened yet, but on the futures market, it's scheduled for its biggest 3-day fall in decades. You know, forget 2008, forget the pandemic. This is worse than all of that. And it's all the actions of one man. It's not an external shock. It's not the bank suddenly kind of having a liquidity crisis. It's not suddenly a global pandemic. It is one man's actions sitting in the rose garden with his big board making an announcement with such devastating effect.
And that's why I think actually, I really don't think we can underestimate the uncertainty of how this might play out. Because normally, I mean, economists would say normally that tariffs are not necessarily the sort of things that would push your economy into recession. It's the sort of thing that, as long as there's stability with the tariffs, it's the sort of thing that will make things more expensive for producers. It makes the economy less efficient overall because you're potentially deciding to have to buy for more expensive domestic consumers rather than international ones. But there's something Paul Krugman's been talking and writing about, which I think is spot on, the Nobel Prize winning economist. He's been talking about the uncertainty of these particular tariffs, because unlike normal tariffs which are imposed and you have a particularly stable tariff regime, with Trump you don't know, there's no stability to it. It might come, it might go up, it might go down. So if you are an investor, and I think imagine if you're an American investor and I don't know, you want to open, I don't know, a new factory making car parts, and you're thinking about where to put them, where to make that investment, what the time horizon should be, what your balance sheet will be over 4 to 5 years. You have not got a clue. We are in the middle of the most uncertain economic period, certainly since the pandemic, arguably actually since the financial crisis. As you say, John, this isn't the result of a sort of long-standing problem which has been building up in the economic system, like the 2008 crash was. This is a deliberate policy decision taken from the White House.
Brilliantly put by Lewis Goodall. And we're seeing it. This video doesn't need to be too long, guys, but just some of the impacts of Donald Trump's tariffs, and I'm going to say Republican tariffs. Thank you to one of my subscribers who told me to say that moving forward. Such a very good point. We're seeing higher consumer prices. We're seeing slower economic growth, job losses in manufacturing. We're seeing ridiculous market volatility. Trade wars are now happening and starting to take place. People are starting to retaliate. Countries such as China, the European Union have looked at it as well. We're literally taking a massive disruptions taking place in global value chains as a result of these tariffs that Donald Trump has put on the rest of the world and Republicans. We're seeing an economic strain on developing nations as well, rising costs for everyday goods. Guys, what we're seeing right now is crazy. Businesses are seeing rising costs as well. If you guys go across to the posts tab on my page, you will literally see, I think it's Fabletics that they're called. They have now put a line into their costing that is literally to cover the price of tariffs. As a result, Donald Trump is actively destroying the economy and destroying the world as a result of what it is that he's doing. Businesses are seeing increased costs. we're seeing a shift in global economic power without a shadow of a doubt, because nations like China are capitalizing on the opportunity to strengthen their global influence through initiatives such as, I think it's called Belt and the Road Project. They're looking to come in and replace America's spot, their space in the global world with what it is that they're doing. So much economic instability purely just due to what Donald Trump is doing. Brilliant piece, brilliant takedown by Goodall, and some really good thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below this video. And as usual, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and also hit the thumbs up button purely for the YouTube algorithm. Turn on the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. And as usual, guys, I'll see you in the next one.